The Concrete Connection project acknowledges that the land this podcast was recorded and filmed on is the traditional lands of the Kaurna people, and we respect their spiritual relationship with their country. Well, g'day and welcome to the Concrete Connection project podcast, where I am out and about trying to perform and create on every single street in the city of Adelaide, raising money and awareness for mental health and donating that to mental health charities that are supporting people that are struggling. And if you did tune in to the last couple of podcasts, you'd know that I am now out and about in North Adelaide. We are in Wellington Square. It is the school holidays, but I'm lucky enough to make some time to be joined today by Courtney Robb.
Hey Ben, how are you?
Yeah, good, thanks. Good to see you. Thanks for coming down.
No, my pleasure.
And we've lucked out with the weather.
We did. I thought we were going to be rained on today.
Yeah, no, it's beautiful. Blue skies everywhere, and we found a nice park bench here in Wellington Square in North Adelaide. And if you don't know, Courtney is singer-songwriter royalty around Adelaide. Has been performing probably just as long, if not longer, as I have in Adelaide. And we've known each other for quite a long time, but it has been a long time in between drinks as well.
It has. That's a really nice way of saying I'm pretty old now. So.
well, we're both aging gracefully, I think. So, yeah, singer-songwriter, performing for a while, definitely in Adelaide, but Tin Town. Can you please tell me about Tin Town?
So Tin Town came about because I've been doing solo stuff for a long time as Courtney Robb, and I started playing with my now husband, Snooks LaVie, about 6-7 years ago, and we started writing more collaboratively and performing exclusively as a duo, so thought we needed a name to fit the bill rather than a Courtney Robb project. It's a Tin Town project. It's great. Yeah, as we were talking off camera, the name and the aesthetic and the vibe is perfect. I think it's a great name to go with the style of music, especially now working now and I assume living with your husband. How is it wandering around the house when there's so much talent going on? You're both incredibly talented musicians. What is that like creatively and personally? That's a funny question. I don't really see it that way. I mean, I think Snooks is incredibly talented. I don't see myself that way, but I don't know. We just have a lot of fun making music together. Don't really analyze it. There's not a lot of competition there either, which a lot of people think there might be clash of egos, but we're both pretty chilled out when it comes to that stuff, and I just think we're just all about the music, so it just we feel really lucky that we get to live our lives and perform and experience those things together, because I think that's a hard thing, trying to hold a relationship down when you're a musician, and the fact that we both understand that viewpoint, I think really just really helps our relationship, and it helps the music as well. So
I think that there would be a mutual understanding that sometimes it's not all performing. There's lots of waiting around. There's lots of things that go with being a musician that aren't the glamorous performing side of it. Definitely, and that'd be a nice balance. So, and for those who don't know, Snooks LaVie is probably the best harmonica player I've ever seen in my life, but he also writes music together now with you collaboratively with Tin Town.
It's I'm mostly the lyrics girl, and I come up with the basic ideas for songs, and he kind of helps me structure them and helps me sort of nut out problems and stuff like that. He's a very good problem solver when it comes to that sort of stuff. And
just very tasteful in his playing as well. Sometimes you might get instrumentalists, particularly that will just try and shred over everything that you do, but the way he works that harmonica is just very tasteful, even pad-like.
He really listens, and sometimes I've done a song with him on stage, and he literally will just stand there like an idiot for 4 minutes and just come in on the outro, because that's all that was needed for the song. And I don't think a lot of musicians would feel okay about doing that.
Yeah.
But he just serves whatever the song needs, which is really nice.
And that is the ingredients of a great musician is restraint. I think like that. Yeah, just 10 seconds in the outro. Perfect. Sure. And then you've got to as you said, stand there awkwardly for the other 4 minutes. Now, you guys just released a song called Things I Got From You.
Yeah.
And from the last time I saw you and from some of the things you've been putting out on the socials is that, that's about your father.
Yeah. I lost my dad about 6 or 7 years ago, and I wrote that song a couple of years after he passed. I don't actually know what prompted me to write it like that long after, but I think I was just trying to explore what that relationship meant after that person's not there to talk about it anymore. It's like it's a hard thing to sort of describe, I guess, but yeah, I mean, I got a lot of my good habits and I got a lot of my bad habits from my dad. We're all like complex individuals, really, aren't we? So I just wanted to kind of explore that, that we're not one thing, that we're a multitude of things at any given time. And Well, I mean, I've experienced grief in my life, but I haven't experienced the grief of losing a parent yet. And it's something, I'm not sure how I'd be. I'm not sure how I would be in that situation. But do you feel like, I know writing for me is sometimes a good source of therapy. Yeah.
Do you think writing that song really helped, close the chapter, or sometimes or somewhat comforted that grief in a certain way?
I definitely think it was like me processing elements of it, but I don't think grief ever closes it. Like, I don't think you close that chapter. I think that's just like an ongoing process, and it doesn't get any easier as time goes on. It just, you kind of get more used to carrying it. I lost my mum like 15 years ago now, so I've gone through it twice, and both quite unexpectedly. Like, my dad was a very sudden loss, so I think for me it just took that little bit extra time to sort of even just come to terms with the fact that he wasn't there anymore. It's quite an unusual thing to go through. I mean, everyone goes through it eventually, I guess, but music really helped. He was always a big fan of my music as well, so a big supporter of me doing what I love to do. So well, sorry to make it so to bring it emotional straight away. Okay.
So I don't know, for me, like, we've both been doing music for quite a long time. Those early days of playing, I remember, at Higher Ground and things like that. And it was, a bit of a different time, I think. I think we had a bit of a golden age of like a real sense of community around that time. There wasn't the pressures of social media and things like that. You went and you recorded a CD and you were able to sell that CD, and generally gigs were just full of people because there was the word of mouth. I think, Facebook was around, but it was a bit of a different time. And I have seen a few posts of yours, and I know the last concert that we did, you talk about some of the pressures of social media and how annoying it is right now as a musician, but it's a bit of a double-edged sword, I guess, as well.
I mean, okay, it is a tricky one, because there is a part of me that just goes, well, social media opens all these avenues to connect to people as well. But like, I'm not an inherently outgoing person. Even like the thought of sitting down with you chatting today kind of sent my anxiety through the roof for the last few days. So the thought of like getting in front of a camera and doing the things that you're supposed to do as a musician now on social media just like makes me really uncomfortable. I know that sounds weird because I get on stage and perform in front of people, and it's a very different feeling though. So it wasn't that long ago though that the social media thing wasn't even an issue. And selling music, selling CDs. My last album was 8 years ago, and I sold physical copies of it. This album that we're going to release later this year is like the first time I'm looking at, not having the CD sales, which, I'm happy to sort of move along with the times and adjust, but it's definitely a learning curve, isn't it? Like, it's a different world now to the last time I recorded.
Yeah, and it's just, I think there's not too many other industries where pretty much the entire catalogue of all the works ever created is available for $6.99 a month. You can get every single artist, every
free
single
if you really want.
or free if you really want to. So it's it's hard. Yeah, I think it is.
I think Gillian Welch has a song called "Everything Is Free," and it's about that. Like, we've got to give it away now. Like, you put all this time and money and energy and heart into something, and then people listen to it for 20 seconds and skip to the next song.
They're not getting the big dopamine hit they need, so that it's just skip. And I definitely know my attention spans, dropping away.
Sure.
And every time I pick up my phone, sometimes I forget what I'm doing and I'm distracted straight away. But you got to move with the times and things. And speaking of moving with the times, you're a graphic designer.
Yeah.
And we were talking off camera, and it sounds like you're getting plenty of work, but what are some of the implications you think of things like AI and stuff like that? Is that creeping into your workspace at all?
It's not affecting me just yet, but I can see how the next 5 years it's going to change that industry. Like, I already notice a lot of like AI artwork and images online, and like, you could see that it has its flaws and it's not quite there, but I could think every artistic realm might be under threat. But also, like, I'm guilty of using ChatGPT to write grant applications, and like, it's a useful tool, but I think it's going to get to that tipping point where maybe it's not a good thing.
Yeah. Well, let's not go too deep on AI, because it is still early, but it's ever changing and things like that. But so as we're getting older, I think particularly the last concert I saw of yours, you were very open in talking about intermittent depression and things like that. There was something you mentioned, there was an on and off relationship with depression and things like that. Now, do you think, back when we were in those higher ground days, do you think it was talked about as much then? Do you think as musicians I don't think we were as open back then and now, but as we've grown older, and you do have a song about aging and not worrying about that as much as well, do you think now, like, we've ever stopped giving a fuck so much, or we're now just ready to talk about it, and the community acceptance of talking about things like that has changed?
I think it's probably a little bit of both of those things. Like, I've always been quite honest and open in my songwriting, but maybe not in the in-between parts. So like the banter and the interviews and stuff like that. I think for me, I'm way more open about that stuff now as I'm older, because I literally do not care anymore what people think of me, and I actually don't think that it's a bad thing anyway. But I do notice, like, the younger generations, I have a 14-year-old daughter, and her friends talk incredibly openly about mental health. It doesn't seem to have anywhere near the stigma that it used to, which to me, that's like such an amazing thing to see, those younger people coming through and really just like, it's not a deal for them. Like, it doesn't.
Well, that's great to know. Yeah. I find definitely, for me, it's, the same sort of thing. It's like, you seem, decreases the care of what people think of you. And I think, and telling an authentic story in between in between songs and things, I think really helps people connect with it more. And I think the more open and, I think there's a quote somewhere, living is to be vulnerable, so I think being open and vulnerable about it is a nice thing.
Yeah, I mean, we all go through very similar things through our life, like maybe not the same circumstances, but same emotions, same, ups and downs. And I think if you're open about it, it just makes people feel like they can connect with you and the music more, and they don't feel as alone. And I don't.
Yeah, it might not be talked about in that moment, but listening to other people's stories and vulnerabilities and troubles, definitely, makes people feel less alone for sure. Now, for you, I ask everyone this on the podcast is, what do the words mental health mean to you?
I think mental health and health in general are probably just one and the same, like interconnected. I think one affects the other and vice versa. It's a hard question.
It is.
I know for me, my physical health impacts my mental health greatly, and when I'm not looking after one, the other seems to dip. And I've gotten better at recognizing those moments where it's starting to slide and sort of catching myself before things get too hairy. But your mental health also affects your physical health too. So I know when I've been down, or when I've been going through darker periods, it comes out in my body in different ways. Like I have chronic back pain and some skin issues and stuff like that, and that seems to flare up when my mental health's not working. So I don't know what it means to me, but I just think it's one and the same. I think mental health is health.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because people, just from what I've discovered, people definitely have different views on, some people that are a bit more old school. It's like, what does mental health mean to you? And they're like, nah, don't have it. They think straight away it's a condition, or it's you're depressed, or straight away. And other people, it's, there's community, and then and it's connected with the body and things like that as well. Yeah, I think they do. I have read a few quotes which are like, to calm the mind, you start with the body and things like that, and with the breath and all sorts of different things. But it's definitely something that interests me, and I don't know the definitive answer. And I think that, the brain and the body is something that is an ever-growing mystery, and with questions to be answered. I think
the brain is such a powerful thing, and I think it controls so much of everything that's going on within us as well. So I don't know.
We do need to take care of it. So what's next musically? You're just about to drop an album, is that?
So we've got another single coming out Friday.
Oh, there we go. Hopefully we get the podcast out before then, so we can make sure you tune in to listen.
And then I did one more single before the album. So the album's due to drop around October, but that's still a little up in the air at this stage. But, so that's the next thing. And we're doing a little tour towards the end of the year, interstate and locally, through South Australia as well. So just see what happens.
Yeah, and there has been a bit of a crew of all-stars working on the project. A lot of great musicians.
Oh my God, I feel so lucky that they want to work with me. We've got Tom Kneebone on guitar and BJ Bark on drums, who I've worked with before, and Lyndon Gray on bass, and Ryan Martin-John at the helm, producing and doing lots of other things behind the scenes. And also got Lucky Oceans, a pedal steel player from WA, well, from US originally, but lives in WA. He's sent in his little bits, and a guy called Graham Hollis on Hammond as well. So it's been very nice, and just the best group of people to work with. I've just felt incredibly supported, and they've just treated every song with such respect and heart. So,
and you did quickly say something in between there. You felt so lucky why people would want to work with me and things like that. And it's something I think I've dealt with too. And I think there's been a few hints of it. Do you find like there's a bit of that, like, because you're an absolute world-class performer, but do you find you get some of that imposter syndrome, or like,
oh my God.
like, am I good enough to be on this stage sometimes?
I get it all the time. I've been doing it for long enough, and you think that I would kind of know my worth a little bit more by now, but I don't know. I never feel like I'm quite there, which I guess as an artist is a good thing, because it means I keep pushing myself to be better. But yeah, I mean, it's a matter of like how you measure success as well, which is a very hard thing as an independent musician, because sometimes it feels like you're pushing shit uphill. Like it literally feels like you're putting time and energy into something, and like I have a constant fear that people are not gonna get it or like it, and it's not really a fear. It's more just like am I really doing this for the, you know, why am I even doing this if no one likes it? Or I think it's a normal thing to do as an artist, right? If you're putting that much of yourself into something, to like, yeah, just be scared that it's not good enough, or
yeah, no, I definitely get that. I mean, some days I go, yeah, I am good, and then other days, like, you get around other musicians and stuff, and you're like, oh God, these guys think I'm like, what am I doing it? And then
exactly.
But I don't know if for you, but for me, sometimes like, nah, that's, you know, you've had these little flirting moments, like, nah, maybe I shouldn't do music, but there's still something that just draws you back, and it's like, oh well, I think I'm here for life, whether, you know, people like it or not. It's totally a tricky thing.
Yeah, I mean, I just keep doing it, and I keep spending all my money. I think I've got rocks in my head sometimes.
I know. I think my partner thinks the same of me sometimes too. But it's something that just keeps coming back, and I don't know if that's just something ingrained in us inherently. I'm not too sure, but yeah.
I think I just do it for myself ultimately. And then if I'm happy with stuff, I'm like, oh, I should share it. I should get up and do some gigs. I should, you know, record again or whatever. But first and foremost, I write because I have to. Yeah. Like, at the end of the day, it helps me process stuff.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Writing, whether you're a musician or not, I think is incredible for mental health, and just to help analyse some thoughts. Sometimes you don't know what you're thinking until you can see it.
That's right.
Because I think thoughts in your mind are so fleeting and they come so quickly and go. I think, if something's troubling you, writing it down. And I know for us that probably turning that into a song is our way of doing it. But I think, getting pen to paper with
it sort of organises your thoughts, doesn't it? Like, clarifies things as you're working through it.
Yeah, and it's something we've talked about before. It helps you even nearly chart your own path, because if you don't know the path you're on, and sometimes once you start writing or even just talking, that's why, you know, I think the message is quite clear that people should talk to each other a bit more and talk about it. Like, you start to navigate a way and perhaps you didn't even know but once you start, it sort of helps
Definitely.
align that.
Yeah.
Now, I did have one last... Yeah, so you talked a little bit before about defining success. Now, when, you know... What do you define as success now? And it was pretty hard. I know
I shouldn't have said that. I knew that you were going to bring that up when I said that.
Because I think perhaps when, you know, we first met, you know, 15, 16, 17 years ago, I think we probably all, you know, success is probably touring and playing and record deals, that sort of thing, which hasn't really eventuated for us. But I think now success, is that changed for you?
I never, even when I was starting out, I never really saw those things as record deals and stuff like that. I never really wanted to be a full-time musician. I wanted to keep music as something that I continue to love. And anything that turns into a job, you end up like
resenting a bit,
maybe. Yeah. But at the same time, it'd be really nice to be able to live off my music and not have to have the day job. But success for me, I think is, you know, when someone will come up to me after a show and chat to me about how a song made them feel, or I'm getting emotional now. Those little connections, I think for me that means way much, like a lot more than the big stuff like the touring, and you know, that's all fun, that's all hard work, that's a part of it, but like that's not particularly what I think being a successful artist is for me. So.
Well, yeah, perfectly said. Yeah, because you know, one song at a time can help one person at a time. I think that's very, you know, very
and music
wise.
Over the years, and especially my younger years, like saved me. Not my music, but like listening to music,
for sure.
seeing other people play, you know. That's probably why I got into it in the first place. So, yeah.
Well, thanks so much for being on the podcast today. I really do appreciate it. Thanks for taking time out of the schedule. And we lucked out with the weather. Check out Tin Town, new single coming out Friday. Yeah, and look out for the tour and the album later in the year. Thanks so much, Courtney.
Thanks for having me.
Cheers. Thank you.